Hi, my name is Faustina, and I'll be giving a brief history on the Industrial Revolution. So the Industrial Age is a period known for its technological and economic growth. It began in England in the late 18th century and spread to other parts of the world. It's a period where manual labor was replaced by technological equipment advancement. People moved from doing things manually into using machineries to do work. It was a period whereby there was massive increase in production due to shift in manual labor, and transportation also experienced growth. People no longer travel with carriages. They use the inventions like train to transport themselves and raw materials from one place to another. Most of these refineries were located in places where places that was close to the mining environment. So as the technological advancement grew, machineries also grew. The textile industry also experienced growth. People who were not experienced in running these machineries, most of them lost their jobs. It's a period marked by great suffering in the industrial age. There were lots of factors that caused this industrial revolution. Number one, there was a lot of new scientific developments. Scientists such as people that developed the Ford cars, they were actively working in developing a lot of new technological materials. That was one of the causes of this industrial age. People saw the advantages of using technology to do things instead of using the manual process to do work, and there was a major shift in manual to technological growth. Also, there was an abundance of coal and mineral resources. Agriculture also improved during this age. They started using tractors to plant, to harvest, and do all sorts of things that would normally require manual labor. And there was growth in population. People now, the population was experiencing growth, entrepreneurship, advancement in the colonial market. This was a period of the colonial age. They were constantly transporting slaves from Africa down to England. So it's resulted in rise in population, and they needed to work. So that was how this industrial revolution came to be. And there were a lot of positive impacts of this industrial revolution. Like I said before, the transportation experienced growth, the textile industry experienced growth, lots of areas. Now, women and children were mostly the people working in these factories because they were paid little to nothing to work long hours in these factories. Despite the advantages of the industrial age, there were also lots of demeaning or negative impact of this industrial age to the lives of people who lived in these areas at that time. One of them was urbanization. People were now moving to places where there were places that experienced these advancements. People moved from rural areas to the urban areas, and the urban areas were overly populated. And another thing was that because these refineries and these tractors, these industrial materials, they worked on the fuel. There was a lot of emission of carbon dioxide, and the waste from these machines were dumped in the rivers, and it caused pollution. There were no clean waters. There was massive spread of diseases during this era. Children were reported being sick from cholera, tuberculosis, and fever. This was a result of bad water and bad air. That was one of the effects of this industrial revolution to the environment. And a lot of people lost their jobs. People who were not, especially the men were not paid. Although at the time the labor market was now they started looking into how to pay people more for working in this environment, because they were paid little to nothing. Because what humans could do under 3 months, machines could do it in 1 month or 1 day. So they no longer needed manual labor that much. So people lost their jobs, and it actually led to Great Depression. People were suffering. There was a demarcation or decision between the rich and the poor. The poor kept getting poorer and the rich kept getting richer. So at the time, the Industrial Revolution also, there's a period we also call the Second Industrial Revolution. This one took place from 1870 to 1914. That was a period where also more revolution took place. The people started using phone to make calls. The electricity we know today was developed in that period. And streets, they moved from using oil lamp to using electricity. So the conclusion is that this is a significant age. The Industrial Revolution practically shaped most of the things we see today in the world, like the electricity, the trains, the former means of transportation, the textile industry. People no longer needed to use their hands to knit clothes. It was done by machines, and raw materials were now transported easily. So which are some of the things millions of people still enjoy today. Most of those lasting impacts still exist today. There is also great demarcation between the rich and the poor, and also urban areas are more populated than rural areas. So thank you very much for listening to my short video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.